is my cyber chat on the .zip TLD and its possible phishing dangers. So obviously we're all aware of the .zip file format. It's very famous. It's an archive format used for lossless data compression. It's been in use since 1989 and has been packaged into Windows since 2000, which means that pretty much any normal computer user will have heard of .zip at least. I mean, maybe your grandma hasn't, but most people at least know about the .zip, so it's very widely recognized and widely used. People, when downloading something, expect to see a .zip a lot of the time. So let's talk about TLDs and GTLDs. So accessing a website requires knowledge of its domain name, which is the part of the URL which is used to access a certain certificate or authority. And the URL will be divided into a second level domain and a top level domain, which is a TLD. Now these TLDs, they're more general. Some famous ones include .com, .net, .org, things that everyone has heard about. And the way that these TLDs are created is through an organization known as ICANN, which is the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, and a sub-organization it has called IANA. So the big thing here is that it's possible to create new TLDs. For example, we started off with only the famous ones like .com and .org, but slowly companies are allowed to register new TLDs as long as they pay a certain fee and they have ICANN approval. So that's led to some fun TLDs being created like .biz, .info, which are famous ones, .google, companies can make it, .paris, a whole city could apply for fun. There's .basketball, .xbox, and even .george, which is my personal favorite. So this is when things start to get interesting. In 2023, Google registered 8 new GTLDs, including ones called .zip and .mov, which are two famous file formats, and this could create a lot of confusion. The intended purpose of making this .zip GTLD was from Google's website, quote, to tie things together or move really fast. So this was supposed to be for really fast websites that would zip through everything. But cybersecurity researchers were quick to point out that the .zip domain was exactly the same as the very famous file extension, and how this could create a ton of possible phishing attacks and cybersecurity issues for people who are confused and don't know that .zip is a domain now. And people were quick to notice this. As you can see in this chart here, thousands of .zip domains were registered within just a few days of the TLD's release, which is far more than any of the other TLDs, which most people did not really care about. So this, of course, has led to a lot of phishing attacks. Some of the first domains registered were designed to pass off as a company's website to download some .zip files. So you had to, for example, we have report 2023.zip here, which is trying to look like a Microsoft page where you first have to sign in and then you would download a zip file. And obviously this could be used to steal someone's personal information and then even download a malicious .zip file because the person thinks that they're just downloading something from Microsoft. Over 200 domains were registered in just 2 weeks containing installer or update within the second level domain. And this included websites like Chrome Update X64.zip, Firefox Installer.zip, and Zoom-installer.zip. And all of these were designed to look like the websites that they were imitating or by the company. So Zoom-installer.zip looked like a Zoom website. Some people just also downloaded generic or registered generic things like attachment.zip. So maybe someone sends a link that says attachment.zip. You click on it. Now it could take it to this potentially malicious website. Particularly infamous registration was 42.zip, which when you go to the website, it's not up now, but still don't try to go to any of these domains. It downloads a 4.5 petabyte zip bomb, and this is actually a reference to another zip bomb that had happened like 10 years ago that was titled 42.zip. That was the file extension. So I guess someone registered this as a cruel joke or something, so now you can get the zip bomb back. Some people were trying to be good actors and kind of took up domain space so that bad actors couldn't take it. So for example, if you go to googlechrome.zip, which is still up, it'll just say, why does .zip exist? Or bank-statement.zip will take you to this security notice saying, please don't go to .zip websites. Another big danger here is auto-converted domains. So some websites, such as Twitter or YouTube, will automatically convert any valid TLD to links, even retroactively when a new TLD is released. So here, this was in a video about the famous zip bombs, and someone in the comments talks about 42.zip and why it's so dangerous. And now, even though this was made 4 years ago, which is well before the .zip domain was registered, YouTube automatically converted his discussion of 42.zip into a link to the dangerous website. So now all these people who maybe were talking about a .zip file on the website, now they've just potentially made a link to a dangerous website, even if they were talking about this 5 years ago. And this is my personal favorite one. This is a very sneaky way of phishing. So right here, I just have a potential phishing email that's designed to look like an email from UVA CS support or something. So we say, oh, the computer science department has now made a new tool that will let you sign into the CS portal faster. So just go to this website right here. And, in Outlook, just looks like it's taking you to the CS website on engineering.virginia.edu. And then maybe you download the UVA CS resources.zip file. And this is not like, it really does take you to this exact site. This is not like a fake link or anything. But the trick here is that the slashes in the domain are actually Unicode backslashes, which have some other value. They're not real backslashes, so they look fake and they're just ignored. And everything before this @ sign here is part of an old kind of browser protocol that says anything before an @ sign should be treated as a user sign-in to a website, which no website uses anymore, but it's still valid. So everything before this @ sign is ignored. So while this looks like it's taking you to engineering.virginia.edu, it'll actually take you to uva_cs_resources.zip, which I could register and put some malware on there and make it look like you're signing into a UVA site. And if you're not careful, you'd have no idea. And again, this is a real link that will take you to uvacs_resources.zip. So finally, how can you protect yourself? Best way to do it is honestly just to block all .zip domains from your computer, because there's really no useful websites that actually use .zip as the TLD. And you can do this in the group policy editor by automatically redirecting all .zip domains to a trusted source, such as 127.0.0.1 or localhost or google.com or anything that's safe. You can also download a third-party DNS service like NextDNS that will do this for you. And of course, just the usual precautions when you're clicking on an unknown link. Don't go to .zip domains. Basically, that's the most important thing. And here are the works cited, and thank you.